Hello everyone, welcome to our timeless oracle reading. Our oracle card for today belongs to Into the Lonely Woods Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and illustrated by Dan May. Looking at the picture of the card, we see a mother and a child happily enjoying the providence of nature. They somehow are already well adapted to the cycles of nature, and so they know when is the best time to benefit from it and when is the best time to leave it for a while and go to other places. It's the same with our life's journey. There will be moments of ebbs and flows. There are cycles in our life, just as there are cycles also in our exterior world. The important thing is to learn to identify these cycles and learn to adapt as the cycles unfold themselves. There will be moments when we will be called towards solitude and silence, and there will be also moments where we will be drawn towards interacting with people, with our environment, our exterior world. We need to learn to identify these moments, these cycles, these ebbs and flows, because it is only by learning to identify them that we will be able to really go with the flow, to be really docile with the spirit, and it will allow us to flawlessly go through the cycles of life. I remember in my earlier years when I was working as a healer for a community in a place that was, well, more or less forgotten by the modern world. A place where people are much closer to nature. There was one time I was walking by the coral reefs, and it was at the setting of the sun. And at that moment when I was passing by this coral reef, it was the time when the tide is receding. Low tide is beginning to appear or to present itself. And so gradually I saw the sea receding itself. And I saw, after a few seconds, people, families carrying with them buckets, pails, little pointed sticks in order to benefit from the richness of the sea. Because as the sea recedes from the coral reef, abundant life showed themselves before the people, before the poor community, and the people found an opportunity to gather nutritious food. So it's people learning to adapt to the high tides and low tides of life. They know that when the sea recedes itself, the sea is inviting them to benefit from the richness of the sea, from the richness of nature. And so people who are very much in touch with nature would immediately get a pail or a bucket, and together with their children, their family, they would happily gather from the richness of the sea. After a short period of time, the sea would slowly go back again towards the shore, as if telling the people, okay, you've had your fill, it's time for me to reclaim my richness until the time comes that you can benefit from it again. So the people also respect that kind of cycle, and so with their pails they happily gather as families and go back to their homes to wait for the next low tide. It's the same for our life in our spiritual journey, our journey towards transformation, our journey towards maturity. We need to recognize those times when we are drawn towards solitude and silence and prayer and meditation and contemplation. And we need to recognize those times when we need to bring the fruits that we gathered from our inner journey, which is just like those people to whom the sea have opened herself. It's like when there is time for solitude and silence, the inner realm will open itself before us, inviting us to nourish ourselves, to benefit from the richness of the sea of our inner self. So at that time, we need to take advantage of that moment, because the gifts that we can gather from it will only be available for a certain period of time. And sooner or later, that moment of being in close touch with the richness of our inner world will cease, and the inner world will close itself again, in order for us to use whatever riches we have gathered from our inner journey and apply it into the exterior world. As we apply it into the exterior world opens itself before us also. It's like another sea, but actually it's the earth that opens itself before us. And so we wonder at the beauty of nature in the exterior world also. And from there, we gather new and other richness from our experience with interacting with other people and with the environment before us in the exterior world. And so it is time for us to let go of the inner world in order to learn from the gifts that we receive from the exterior world. And then afterwards, we are again being drawn towards the inner realm. And when we go to the inner realm, we bring the richness of our experiences as we interacted with the people in the past. So oftentimes when we start to develop that kind of sensitivity, wherein there will be moments where we would be very happy to interact with people, be very happy to feel the beauty of nature. And there will be moments wherein you will find yourself preferring to spend more time alone, to spend more time nurturing oneself. We need to recognize these cycles, to respect them, and to enjoy these moments. When we learn to respect these cycles, we gain more richness from them, and we enjoy the journey. The journey becomes no longer a burden, but a new adventure, an opportunity for learning new things, an opportunity to grow and to transform to the person that we are meant to be. So recognizing the ebbs and flows of life is one of those vital things or vital lessons that we need to keep with us as we journey through life. Now let's try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card and gain more insights regarding ebbs and flows. There will always be moments where we find ourselves unable to find our place within the world. Those we once knew have fallen away, and those we have yet to form trust and loving relationships with are yet to come. We are sometimes given responsibilities to care for on our own when we thought they would be shared. It is natural to contemplate what we may be doing wrong or is lacking in us, but this will pass. The truth is, we all go through the initiations of companionship and solitude, of intimacy and estrangement, of deep understanding and the grief of being misunderstood or abandoned. This moment is an ebb, but soon the flow of companionship will come. Friendship and love will surely flow back to you, as too will that true and deep sense of belonging. Aches and pains are part of life's journey, but when we learn and when we appreciate them as opportunities for growth, opportunities for learning, what seemed bitter before becomes sweetness as we journey further towards self-discovery and learning to love the world that we are meant to live in. Well, that's it for today. I hope you were able to gather some gems in this reflection. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.